Good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I am the host with the most, Adam Ringham Ocean, and we have Joey, the hoster with the moster. So he's got even more than me. Mr. Joseph Phillips, he's the genius. He's the brain behind so much of this. Cannot speak highly enough about this guy. So to give you guys a little bit of overview of what we're going to be doing, Joey and I are going to be doing regular Zooms to basically update people of, what is the product? How does it work? What is gene technology? That's what we're going to be covering tonight is what the heck is this glycoimmunology nano encapsulation? What is it? What does it mean? Why is it special? Why is it different? And then we're going to come back and kind of talk about the past, the present, and then most importantly, the future of what we have lined up for everybody. So our Zooms, we're going to attempt to keep them to around the 20-minute mark because we don't want to just ramble on endlessly. We always want to make it that we can just end it right at a nice, exciting point and say, we'll see you next time. We'll try and schedule some Q&As, here as we go along. But without further ado, we are going to have Mr. Joey introduce GlycoGenix of what is gene technology, what is glycoimmunology, what is all of this. So we're going to make him the host. And Mr. Joey, if you want to throw us up a presentation and educate us, what's the gene tech? What's inspired it? How does it work? And what
Absolutely.
is it, period?
Okay. All right. So to go back years and years and years ago, this doesn't just happen overnight. Um, I'm an avid researcher at heart. I want to know the who, what, when, where, and why of everything, right? That's how I am. Not all people are like that. A lot of people don't even give a crap about the science. I want to know how it works. And so this this gene technology, I got a little feedback in the background. Can somebody mute them out? But yeah, this is not something I just dreamed up and pulled a rabbit out of the hat. This is something that has taken years and years and years of decoding complex biochemistry, receptor sites, how the body works, and all this kind of fun stuff. And so I would take clients on for years and years and years, and I began to notice a commonality held between almost every single malady on the planet. And it had to do with a subject matter called glycoimmunology. And so I studied that for years. And Adam and I, in fact, came out with a supplement years ago called Reverse Effects that we're planning on relaunching. But the gist of it is that I also learned that you can use complex sugar molecules, saccharides, oligosaccharides, polysaccharides, in many different forms. There's tons of different types of sugars that exist within nature that can be utilized for a benefit. And so, why is this important to us right now? Because we're in an unprecedented time. I believe that there is literally a battleground going on for your receptor sites. Okay, what do I mean by that? Every single cell on the human body has what's called the glycan chain. It's a sugar chain that pops off of it, and its primary job is for communication and to be able to recognize what's supposed to be there and what isn't. And so you have a lot of technology out there that increases absorption, like liposomal and things of that nature. Um, but the standard supplement, the standard powdered supplement that's out there, or tablet or pill, you're really only getting about 10 to 30% absorption ratios. And liposomal is roughly around 70%, is what they say. And so over the years, I kind of refined the science behind what we're doing here and really perfected it to a point that you get unmatched um, absorption and really it just assimilates right into the cell because this is how the cell was built. And so it's able to get in by anywhere from, I've read studies up to 900 to 1200% increase in absorption just by employing this type of technology. Okay, so um, this is the future of supplementation, and we're literally at the forefront of it, and we're just getting started. This is like so exciting. So that, again, that's the absorption challenge. Like you can take all the supplements in the world, but if they're not getting in, then you've got what they call expensive P is what they say. And so the challenge then becomes how to get the nutrients into the cell when some of these compounds like curcumin, for example, is not very absorbable to the body at all. And so the challenge then became, how can we utilize this knowledge to the benefit of humanity? And that's literally what we're doing here. It's the name GlycoGenix. It's how complex sugar molecules impact DNA. This is the base foundation of the name GlycoGenix. We want to be able to manipulate and modify the human genome in a positive way using natural compounds, absolutely no synthetics, to be able to bypass traditional systems, the digestive tract and everything like that, which tend to degrade compounds that you take in terms of supplementation. And so there's a real gap right now in the supplement industry with what we're doing, and I would venture to say we're about probably 100 years ahead of the supplement industry as a whole, right? So you want what you take in to be able to be utilized by the body in the most efficient and maximum way possible, and this is like the absolute most superior way. And so when I developed this technology, it didn't just happen overnight. I took on clients for many years in my personal consultations, and I can tell you right now with absolute 100% assurity that these complex sugar molecules run the entire mainframe. The way that these sugars can form complexes with each other, outnumber all DNA, all RNA, and all proteins combined. And that right there just blew my mind when I found that information out years ago. And so it's been a refining process. And so here we are, GlycoGenix. We are literally at the cutting edge. And I'm really happy that you guys are on this ride with us, because there's nothing else like it. Like I said earlier, there's a battleground going on right now in society with various things, right? With the environment and all these sorts of, literally attacks on the human body for your receptor site. And so this technology, what it does is it dominates the receptor site. There's literally, because man can never trump nature. We're not using any synthetics at all whatsoever. And it's superior in every way, shape, and form. I can tell you, I've come across study after study after study that speaks to this. And so, what it does is it works in several different ways. Okay, number one, it forms a nanostructure around the payload. Okay, so that's one of the things that it does. Another thing that it does is it targets very specific receptor sites in the body that happen to be the most important receptor sites in the body. And these are your glycan chains, because they control everything. They control all the cell-to-cell communication, all biological responses. Every time you go out in the environment, you're exposed to all kinds of potential threats. And it's your immune system's job to be able to flag what's supposed to be there and what is not supposed to be there. And so when things start accumulating in the body that are not supposed to be there, the battle begins. And so what we're doing is we're reclaiming what is our God-given right and our God-given receptor site. Okay, that's literally what's taking place. And so the technology that we use combines many different sciences. I'd say probably 5 to 10 different sciences combined together is how I developed this. So it's really special, this gene technology. It shields all the compounds going into the stomach, so the gastric system can't break it down right away. It creates a slow release type of technology. It targets very specific receptor sites that I believe are the most important ones in terms of glycoimmunology, which is how sugars impact immune function. And I'm not talking about cane sugar, and I'm not talking about processed sugar. There's at least 20 or more highly specialized sugar compounds. There's probably even more than that. And I recently learned there's even more than that convert in the body that you simply can't get in nature. So, I mean, the sky's the limit. There's I think I read the other day, there's a trillion different ways that um, these sugar molecules can bond with one another. And that goes back again to speaking about how these sugar chains outnumber all DNA, RNA, and proteins combined. So this is like the king supreme. So we've taken that science and merged it with what we're doing here to create supplements that actually get in, do the job, work on a slow release type of technology. They actually increase the shelf life of the compounds as a natural byproduct, which is absolutely phenomenal. So then we're not having to throw a bunch of synthetic fillers and things like that in to be able to preserve the compound and extend the bottle shelf life either. And so it is literally superior in every way, shape, or form than anything that's out there right now. And so when you take a GlycoGenix formulation, just know what it's doing. It's getting into the body. Your cells almost immediately recognize it because we are mimicking the biochemistry that takes place within the body. Okay. And so by mimicking these complex sugar chains on the body naturally opens its receptor sites to allow the payload to get in. Okay. Which again increases the effectiveness exponentially, like you don't even know, like nobody's business. Okay. I could talk about this. I'm trying to make it quick here, but
Yep.
I really want you guys
Before we move
to
on,
really,
Joey, if could you do me a favor and move back up to the nanotech slide real quick?
yeah, right
Yeah, and
here.
I nope, one more up, right up here. So when we're talking nanotech or nanotechnology or nanoscale doesn't mean bad. What it means is small. And so
Yeah,
the smaller something is, the better the absorption rate inside the body, and that's why we have a lot of nefarious systems that are using, the negative nanotechnology because they want to get as much of it into your body and your systems as possible. Well, on the flip side, you can also do that by making it small. It just allows the body to pick it up much better. So that's what we're doing. So nanoscale or nano doesn't necessarily mean bad. It just means small. So there is nefarious nanotechnology, which we want nothing to do with. We're on the opposite side of saying, well, you fight fire with fire. If they're using nanotech to poison you,
exactly.
let's use nature's nanotechnology to battle it. Because if you're
Yeah.
trying to I don't even have a good analogy for this, but like if you're trying to clean up, imagine trying to use like a broom to clean up a bunch of ping pong balls, that's spilled in a gym. Like, let's say they're all these little ping pong balls are poisonous nanotech, and I dumped a million of them into the gym, and you're going in there with a broom trying to clean them up, versus if I came in with like an industrial vacuum that I was able to just go and clean it up. That's kind of what it's a horrible analogy, but that's what we're trying to do with this is when we make these
Why
natural
can't
beneficial compounds really small, the body's able to absorb them very well. So I
Yeah.
just wanted to point that out quick of saying like
No,
nanoscale.
that's absolutely right. There's no absolutely no synthetic pegylated types of materials that we use. If you know me, I'm vehemently opposed to these types of things. And like Adam said, it's literally fighting fire with fire. And so we want to reclaim the receptor site as our own to allow um, what we want as a payload to be delivered into the cell in the most effective and efficient way possible. And that's what we've accomplished with this glycotech, okay, this glyco encapsulation process that we use. It's a one of a kind. Again, it's blending probably 10 different sciences into one. This is not something that I just dreamed up yesterday. It took me years and years and years to hone in on this proprietary process that I've developed. And again, there's nothing else like it. And so, yeah, we're way ahead of the game here. And so that's why when a person says, I've only been taking your products for 3 days, and I already feel this, and this, and that. This is why, because standard formulations and supplementation typically takes 3 weeks to a month to even get into the cell. And that's why they want you to kind of front load on it to be able to saturate the cell and things like that. But this technology gets right in almost instantaneously, right? Because the body recognizes it, it wants it, it receives it, it opens itself up to it, um, to have the payload delivered. And so it is really something special. And so again, your cells recognize it, it enhances the stability. The immune system automatically knows what to do with it. And so again, it increases the absorption. I've read studies anywhere from 900 to 1200%. It just depends on the study and what compounds they're using.
If you'll
But
go back
again,
up for just a sec, Joey, there's one other thing I wanted to point out. The immune system evasion may not be the right word that we have, and we'll alter that in the presentation. But what
I
it
would say
means is
probably immune system recognition.
recognition.
It recognizes it as something that it's used, that it wants, it needs it, it wants it. Like, and there's the problem is the your supplement's only as good as how much you're absorbing it. And I know a lot of that's kind of like a thing people say, but it is true. And so if you're taking a powdered supplement or a tablet or anything like that, it's really not going to be as effective as this type of technology that we've developed. There's just no comparison. Even the best supplements out on the market, using liposomal or even other ones out there, they can't hold a candle to this, because this is how the body was built. We're literally mimicking the structural biology and biochemistry of human anatomy. And so the cells automatically know exactly what to do with the payload once receiving it. It's brilliant.
Yeah,
And
so a
my science,
second component of the immune system recognition, because even if we get, let's say you get really great bioavailability, well, if the immune system doesn't recognize it or know what to do with it, all that bioavailability can actually cause more problems. Herxings, if you don't have biocompatibility, that's what we're really doing with this glycoimmunology is we're skyrocketing biocompatibility. So when these compounds get into the body, the immune system goes, we know what to do with these. There's not a rejection. You're not going to get the herxing and the body putting up like a your body, if it gets a compound in it and it doesn't know what to do with it, it will literally actively shut off receptor sites. And so if the body's going, I don't know what to do with it, and it's trying to shut off receptor sites and you're trying to force it in, that creates more problems than it solves. And that's why what we're using, it creates an automatic recognition in the body. So the body goes, I know what to do with this. Gimme, 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 gimme. So it's not just the bioavailability, it's the biocompatibility
yeah.
that also comes with it as well. So, all right, sorry to interrupt, Joey. Please continue on.
No, you're fine. And I wanted to bring up another point also is the some of the industries out there right now. This is what they're doing. They're trying to bypass the immune system for their payloads and to trick the immune system into thinking that it's supposed to be there to elicit certain immune responses in the body. But again, man can never trump nature, and the body will always respond accordingly. And this is where the side effects come from. And so that's the difference between synthetic nanotechnology and natural God-given nanotechnology. And so that's what we're doing is we're taking compounds in nature and we're utilizing them to deliver payloads that won't elicit negative responses in the body because your body already knows what to do with them, because that's how the receptor sites are built on top of the cell. And so and to see a possibilities, recognition, pattern recognition is the key to unlocking the door to new therapeutic interventions. And so that's really what we're doing is we're not trying to trick anything in the cell. We're just mimicking what God's already created. Okay, so there's no synthetic nanotechnology in this at all whatsoever. If you know me, you know that that's a big no-no. Okay. And so, yeah, core shell architecture, the perfect delivery vehicle. It's going to create a perfect outer shell, um, an intermediate layer, and an active core. So it's kind of like a multi-layered type of technology, not only to bypass the gastroidal system, stomach acids, and things of that nature, but also be able to target certain very specific receptor sites in the body to be able to deliver the payload into the core of the cell where it needs to go to do the exact thing that it needs to do. And it's not just a quick thing, quick payload. It's actually a time released one as well. And so it just makes it far superior than anything out on the market. So again, the nano cavities. Again, we're taking the payload and we are wrapping them with various compounds in nature to be able to deliver the payload with precision. Okay, with a program release. Okay, so this is absolutely mind blowing in terms of how far ahead we are. It'll take them 100 years, bet, to catch up to what we're doing. And so again, controlled release mechanism, timing is everything here. And so it's not just like you're going to take it and you're going to pee it out 20 minutes later, which is what happens with a lot of supplements, especially synthetic vitamin C powders and things of that nature. You're going to pee it out almost 20 minutes later on the dot. And so this stays in your system and it acts as a slow release type of deal to where you're getting constant nourishment throughout the day, and your cells, our cells need that really bad right now.
And
Okay.
what's so much fun is the targeted release that we've got. These formulations will release the contents when they encounter specific cellular environments. So this wrapping actually has an adaptive function to it, that it has the time release, but if the cells want more of it faster, they're able to actually pick it up faster or set it kind of a little bit aside, going, we'll get to come to this kind of like when we need it. So it doesn't just destroy in the body. You don't just pee it out. You don't move it through phase one and phase two detoxification and it's just gone. The body can kind of leave it there until it like needs it, or it can say, I need more of it because it hits these specific cellular environments that the body will say, we're ready to take more of it right now, bring it in. And so there's this adaptive component to it that works with the body that there's no pharmaceutical or any other supplement that can do that. Like liposomal, if you take it, it's going to come in or out one way or the other. It's a very slow process of you've got to do moving the phospholipid encapsulated products through the cell membrane and then unpacking them is an hours long process for the body because it's literally got to move whole compounds and move it through the cell membrane and then unpack it. With what we've done, it's able to move in and out through aquaporin channels. So it comes in and out of the cell like water. So we've got this really incredible adaptive capacity that nobody else has either, which makes it even more fun and just sets us apart even further. But please
Yeah.
continue, Joey. Sorry.
Oh, sugar be sweet. You hit the sweet spot, baby.
Yeah, I
I
love when
like
these
it.
fun things to come up to point out to go, okay, there's this really cool thing we want to talk about.
So yeah, aquaporin channels in the body, those are your water channels. We're 70 to 90% water. So that's a really big deal in terms of delivering payloads and going places that other compounds may not be able to travel. Enhanced absorption up to 400%. This number, you can play around with that. I've read studies of 900%. I just read another study of 1200% earlier today. And so that's not a finite number there. That's definitely something that is likely more than 400% increase in absorption. Improved bioavailability. Again, we're mimicking nature. Okay, we're not battling receptor sites with synthetic compounds to be able to deliver toxic payloads. We're doing the exact opposite of that. Like we are targeting um cell to cell communication networks that automatically know what to do with the payload because it's in its natural form. Okay. um these complex sugar molecules on the cell surface control all biological function, and we've taken even a step further than that at this gene technology. You guys, the increased bioactivity is just exponential.
Yeah, one
So
of the
you're going to
things
get, yeah,
some companies are doing out there, I'm not going to name names because I'm not here to knock anybody, but one of the things other companies are doing is they add polysorbate 80 to fat soluble compounds. So our fat soluble compounds we're able to just wrap in sugar, so they're soluble in water like naturally. A number of other companies are saying, well, we can make turmeric more bioavailable or whatever else because they add polysorbate 80, which is really like antifreeze. It's what they're using just to break the surface tension on it so it'll be water soluble. But the problem is that's unnatural. Our bodies don't make polysorbate 80. They don't have receptor sites for polysorbate 80. Body doesn't want polysorbate 80. So when we modify the compounds doing that, the bioavailability might kind of go up, but it go up in the wrong way of the body doesn't know how to modulate how much am I going to use at which time because they're throwing polysorbate 80 in with it. So I'm not trying to knock any other companies. We're just highlighting we're much better than that.
yeah, I've done my due diligence. Listen, I got about 100,000 research hours under my belt so far. I've had PhD biochemists tell me I put their degree to shame. And I don't say that to pat myself on the back, but I like to know how things work. And if I can improve in any way, shape, or form on something that I'm currently doing, I'm going to do it every time. You know, this is a constant learning thing. I don't claim to know it all either. If I see room for improvement, it's going to happen. But as it stands right now, this is the most superior thing on the market, bar none. This technology, there's nothing that even holds a candle to, and believe me, I've looked. And I'm not trying to say that to knock any other companies. I'm just telling you, I've tried them all. I know the science behind them all. I've researched all of them, and I'm here to tell you that none of them can hold a candle. So you're going to get greater molecular stability, superior particle distribution, controlled release, and prolonged shelf life without synthetic compounds in them, to be able to do that as well. And so this is a race, you guys. The battle for the cell surface receptor, um, with the companies out there that are not up to any good. And then on the flip side of that, this is also a race to see who can make their compounds the most bioavailable. And listen, I'm not gonna talk a huge game here. I know what I know, and our tech is just next level, you guys. It's absolutely just next level. The gene technology is. It's yeah. So the time lapse comparison, traditional supplements. Listen, you're taking a powder, you're going to absorb maximum 30%, and you're probably going to pee it out within an hour to 2 hours, and it's not going to stay in the body. When you take a product from GlycoGenix, believe that it's getting into the cell and it's going to stay there and act as a slow release type of technology. So it's going to act, you're not going to pee it out in 2 hours. Okay. It's going to stay in there and do its job. It's not going to get oxidized. pH buffering, the nanoparticle structure shields contents from extreme pH environments. This is why I have no problem sending our products in 120-degree weather. Like, I'm not even worried about it that it's going to go bad or anything like that. It'll last on the shelf, 2 year shelf life, easy. I've read studies of up to 5, maybe even 10 years. I'd say 5 year shelf life is probably a good number to put on it. Temper stabilization, again, I'm not worried about 120-degree weather shipping at all whatsoever. And we use airless pumps too, so there's not going to be any oxidation that takes. But if there was, just know, like, if the product itself was like sitting out in a bowl on a shelf, it's not going to go bad. Like, it's protected. And so that's the point that I'm trying to make. And again, the aquaceutical delivery for the aquaportin channels. Water controls everything. Water is life. Um, the planet is 70+% water, just like you are. Try to go without water for 3 days and see what happens. Your whole body runs on water, and the aquaportin channels are extremely important. And we have learned to be able to utilize those aquaportin channels for delivery payloads. Okay, it's unlike anything out there. And so it's cellular hydration taking place at the same time. Um, that's taking place. And so, Adam, you want to jump in here on any of this part?
No, I think we pretty much covered all of it of the compatibility, no harsh solvents,
Yeah,
the solubility, all that. We think we pretty much covered that already on there.
sure, sure.
Someone had a question, what about the plastic container in the heat? And let me know if I'm wrong, Joey, but I would think the plastic container in the heat, even if it's going to bleed, any kind of BPAs or anything, we've already got everything wrapped in there that it's not going
It's
to really,
wrapped and protected.
yeah, so we're
The
not really
gel, the
going to
gel
be,
protects it. The gel's going to protect it from anything like that. Yeah. I
so
don't want to go bottle. We don't want to go glass. There's just too many issues involved with glass, shipping, breakage. I mean, you name it. Um, this is a far superior way to deliver the compounds in these airless pumps, because they're not exposed at all to oxygen whatsoever, and so it increases the shelf life even more. Yeah.
so. Yep, cellular dispersion, basically, because of the technology, the way that we have it wrapped, it basically is a uniform and adaptive distribution in the body. So while it gets everywhere perfectly, the body can selectively move it into different places as it feels fit because the body recognizes it with the sugars on it going, cool, we're able to adaptively move these compounds around the body as they're
Yeah.
needed, but we get uniform coverage with it because it moves around the body pretty easily. I think that covers this slide pretty well.
Yeah, yeah. To be or not to be, that is the question. When your cells recognize something as that it wants, it needs, it's going to open itself up to it. And I say pattern recognition is the key. And so that's what we've done is we've mimicked what the cell does in its natural state and its natural behavior to be able to deliver therapeutics to the cell at a highly effective rate, you know. And so again, what we're doing is we're wrapping this to be able to extend the shelf life as well. And so this is why I'm not concerned with heat. I'm not concerned with any type of issues that was spoken of. This is a completely protected um, gel, really, is what it is, to be able to deliver highly therapeutic payloads into the body at an increased bioavailability of upwards of 1,200%. Literally, is the research I was reading today. In fact, so
And
um,
potency over time is a really important one to look at if you go up, Joey, just to the slide up there. Because a
yeah,
big thing is people, when you get like an herb or a supplement, when you get it, the moment you've harvested it from the plant and you dry it and you start bottling it and moving it around and shipping it and processing it and all of these things, its quality starts going down as soon as you do that. So by the time the people finally finish a product, they make it, then it sits in a can, sits in a warehouse, it's got the air inside the container. That product is starting to degrade the whole time it's sitting there. It may say, hey, we have X amount of expiration date on it, which is totally true. It could say, hey, listen, it's still good up until here, but good becomes a fairly relative figure because as it's been sitting there, its product quality degrades and degrades and degrades over time. Whereas our technology, because it's protected from everything, ours is a very slow decay rate in potency because it's wrapped in these compounds that stabilize it. So it's
yeah,
not subject to the same degradation rate that we see with every other formula that's going to be out there for the most part.
yeah, that's a great point. It Other products will lose their potency over time. Ours does not. Okay. The cell membrane challenge, bypassing cells to deliver payloads. Really, receptor mediated endocytosis. I love this word. It's one of my favorite subjects called Clathrin, and maybe we'll get into that.
Another
But
day.
yeah, but it's literally how your cell receives compounds, how it intakes compounds, and actually how it gets rid of compounds as well. It's called receptor mediated endocytosis and exocytosis, and this is how certain toxins are able to get into the body, pathogens. They all use these types of systems. And so what we've done is just taken that type of information to be able to utilize it to be able to dominate the cell surface receptor, to not allow those types of things to take over the cell surface, really, to deliver their payloads. And so really it's just a battle. It's kind of a battle for nanotechnology at this point, versus natural versus synthetic, um, and delivering payloads, synthetic payloads versus natural payloads. And so that's really what's taking place. There's a battle going on for your cell surface receptor, and we are dominating that battle. Like, we're going to dominate that battle. Like, there's no comparison at all whatsoever. So yeah, cellular uptake advantage. Your cells automatically know what to do with it because it's in its natural state. And so there will be no side effects because this is not synthetic technology at all whatsoever. Natural origins, the biological foundation of gene technology, biomimetic design. Gene nanoparticles mimic structures found in nature, such as exosomes and liposomes cells naturally use to transport materials. This biomimetic approach enables our technology to work harmoniously within the biological system rather than against it. Okay. Again, we're not introducing synthetic compounds. It's 100% natural. So the body already knows what to do with it. Right. And so this is far superior than anything on the market. Okay. Real world applications in technology, things that had a minimal absorption rate, skyrocket, fatty acids, things of that nature. You can't mix water with fat, they say. That is now possible with what we're doing. And so delivering payloads, combined payloads, and increasing and maximizing absorption ratios is really what the glyco-enhanced nano-encapsulation technology brings to the table. Okay. You have to understand how the body works at receiving information. And so we're just speaking the native language that the body already utilizes to be able to facilitate maximum absorption, and increase bioavailability, you guys. Really, there's really nothing else like it on the market. Tissue specific targeting. Certain tissues have certain receptor sites. The different proprietary compounds in our gene tech target very specific receptor sites, which is how we're able to deliver payloads with extreme precision to the brain, things like that, to different tissue and things like that. And so it really is, again, far superior. It's like not even fair, really. It's not fair at all, what we're doing. And so our vision is to continue to refine gene technology. Yeah, we'll continue to refine it for sure. So transform your supplement experience with gene technology. Yeah, you're going to get way more bang for your buck. It's going to last longer in the body. It's going to increase absorption, bioavailability, shelf life. And there's literally, maybe we'll go into this in detail later. There's about 10 different ways that this gene technology works within the body through scaffolding and things like that. But we'll save that for another time. But it just really is about results, superior results. I got tired taking on clients and recommending 20, 30, 40 different supplements to be able to get the compounds I wanted all together. Now with this technology, I have to worry about if I recommend a formulation that we do to somebody about it not working or it not getting into the cell, or having to have them go out and spend $400 on a protocol to get 20 compounds that are targeted for very specific purposes, right? For the brain or for the gut or for microplastics. And maybe Adam can take it from here to see where, what we've done, where we're at, and where we're going. But really, this is about giving the body what it needs at the exact time it needs it in the exact place that it needs it. Okay, this is what gene technology is. Okay, it's speaking the native language of our cellular biology. Really, is what it is.
Yeah.
So, Adam,
Thanks, Mr. Joey. Do you want to make me host so I can do a little bit of a screen share for us?
yeah,
Rock on.
let's go. Host tools. Where am I at?
In participants, you'll find my name, and then you click on the three little dots and say make host.
There we go.
All right, let's see. Let's see if I can do pull up a screen share here. Cha-ching. Hold on, share. Yeah, I can. Sweet.
Glycoenhanced nanotechnology.
Yeah. All right.
Nothing synthetic about it.
Yep. So here is where before we jump on, basically, we're going to cover where we've been a little bit too. As Joey talked about, he worked in his practice saying, I got so sick of being like, hey, go spend four, five, six, $800 buying 20, 30 different ingredients. And then by the time you get them, you've got to mix them together in X amounts. And then is the body even going to absorb them? And so, it is a solution, but it's not a great one. And that's one of the huge reasons for why the GlycoGenix, because when we're talking past, Joey and I have been talking about this for years now at this point. So this isn't something that we just willy-nilly came up with. We've been talking for it for years. And I myself, I've worked with a bunch of other companies. They've been great companies, don't get me wrong, but we really kind of got sick of saying we're sort of sick of building somebody else's company for them to where if there's something that we could do better, we had no control to change it. If there's, anything we could improve or anything that we could bring to the market instead, we had no ability to work with that. And then also, too, historically, fairly low success rates. It's very hard to find a company that you go, okay, cool, I've got these products that I'm working with the company. I can recommend them to people and I get a high success rate with it. And then even if you get to that rate, you're also disposable with a lot of these companies. They can go, hey, thanks so much for building our company for you. We're changing the comp plan, kicking everybody out, or we're just going to cancel your account because you're too expensive to keep around and you can come fight us in court for the next couple of years. And so Joey and I just really kind of got tired of that. And then also, um, people that mark the price tags up so much on different items. The reason, we didn't do an MLM with this because we would have to easily double the price if we were to do a network marketing company. So we kept it as an e-commerce of going, we want our products affordable. And that's really where we're at now of saying we want maximum potency. We want products that fill really powerful needs that are going to work for everybody, that work fast, that work well, that you don't just pee out. And then also to keep the price tag where it's affordable for people, as affordable as possible. I mean, we probably should be charging a lot more than what we are for the technology we have, but Joey and I don't want to be greedy about it. We want people to be able to afford these things as best we possibly can. Because Joey and I are both family men. He's got kids, I've got kids, people are on budgets. I mean, I get so sick of people throwing, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month away to supplements to, people can't afford that sort of thing. That's not realistic to ask a family to be able to do that. So that's really where we've been and where we're at, and kind of a reason behind our why of why are we at where we're at? Why is our affiliate, payout at 20% of, we took a look at everything and saying we have to be able to make this business like a successful business, but we want to keep the prices as low as possible and still be able to pay out an affordable amount to people to say, hey, thank you for sharing our products. We really appreciate that. We want to make sure to do the best we can and keep the prices at the affordable price range and still be able to do a payout and still keep the business functional and survivable, in a business world, because there's a lot of expenses in running a business. And Joey and I handle a lot of it between the two of us, of the number of different skills that him and I put into the number of hours in a day that we work, like keeping up with this stuff. But here's where we're going is the future of here's what's fun. So we've got four products out right now. We've got the Mom Brain Special Effects, Glyco C, and Denticore. And they're four really great products. I'm really happy with them. I'm loving them. But we're going to be talking about the future because Joey and I don't sit still very well. So we're gonna move into the next things of as we're talking about the future. And this is just the future we've got planned for the next couple of weeks to maybe next 2 to 3 months. We'd really like to move into all of this. So let's talk about it and let's show you guys what we have coming up. So the first thing what we've got coming is what we call Derma C. We have a really, really unique compound coming in it called a hydroxypropylchitosan. And this is straight up super futuristic, pharmaceutical level, unbelievable ingredient. And so we're making this Derma C primarily for wound care and skin care because there's a lot of wound care out there, and especially if we get into the elderly population, you start getting the bed sores, you get the diabetic ulcers, you get these things. Once again, remember, I'm not making any medical claims or anything. I'm just talking about, pain points and the solutions. But the big thing is, especially when you get into the elderly, they're extremely vitamin C deficient. So the huge problem is the reason wounds don't heal, the number one compound required for wound healing is vitamin C. It's number one. Without it, wounds don't heal. And that's why we get in the elderly, when they're vitamin C deficient, they bruise easily because their veins, their arteries, their capillaries get fragile because they don't have the bioflavonoids, they don't have vitamin C. So they get the easy bruising. The bruises sit there for forever, and the skins and the wounds. So we created something that is a really cool natural antiseptic and also um, accelerated healing product as well to say and also scar minimization. So we're able to lay down the scaffolding that goes down for the body to build the collagenous matrices and use the vitamin C and natural antiseptic, and then keeping the jojoba oil with it so that we can actually keep the wound moist as well, so it's not drying out and cracking. So we're going to be able to see some really cool things in terms of scar reduction and wound healing coming out with this Derma C that's coming. And this one's going to be it's just going to be a really fun one to use, and I have a feeling it's going to work really well on skin blemishes and age spots and potentially even varicose veins. It's going to be a neat
Yeah.
little product to use. So that's one that's coming as well. Next, we have what we call glycoline blue, and we took a look at the market of methylene blue, of going, we're not here to exactly knock that product, but it is a synthetic coal tar derivative. And we weren't really big fans of that it's an electron donor. We're like, well, we could do something way better than a synthetic coal tar derivative that does potentially come with side effects of organ staining and it building up in the body and causing issues. And then if you've got certain genetic issues or if you're on certain, you have a real problem. So Joey and I went, well, let's create something called glycoline blue that's light years better than methylene blue, just in mechanisms of actions, but also in a safety profile of going, we're not a synthetic coal tar derivative. This is great. So glycoline blue is going to bring all the benefits of methylene blue and way more. And especially if you look at this CoQ10 that's in here. CoQ10 is notorious for literally zero absorption rate. CoQ10 is extremely lipophilic. It absolutely hates water. It absorbs like garbage. And so anytime you get a CoQ10 that's even remotely absorbable, it's expensive out of this world. Well, guess what? Joey and I solved that problem. So this CoQ10, you are going to get exponentially more of it delivered to the body. And we were very careful in how we put this stuff together to say we are going to make something light years better than methylene blue that's also way safer. Coming in the future too, glycostabilizer. So for people, this is blood sugar support. So it says metabolic support because we have to be careful about what we're saying and how we're saving it or saying it. But we are really going to be addressing the issue of insulin sensitivity, insulin production, and we have better compounds in here than anybody else on the planet with what we're doing. And then also because these are natural sugar compounds, it's going to work extremely well with the blood sugar systems in the body. So glycostabilizer, it's not my most exciting one to me because it's really cool, don't get me wrong.
I'm really excited about it. It's gonna work for cardiovascular and blood sugar issues as well.
Yeah,
You'll see it's gonna be
it's gonna be a
fantastic.
cool compound. It's just it's not the one I'm most excited about because I don't have the biggest need for it. So I'm like, okay, listen, it is really cool. It's gonna help a lot of people, but there's some other ones leptin effects is going to be mind-blowing for the thermogenic support. Now, because I've gotten a little bit chubby from sitting around too much, working with some other businesses that I did for a long time, for way too long, just sitting at my computer and not making great food choices. It's 4 kids, other stuff too, stress through it in there. So leptin effects is going to be mind-blowing thermogenic support. And what's really cool about this is it's not stimulant based. So many supplements that are out there are stimulant based of saying we're just going to give you a bunch of stimulants. So you pee out water weight and your metabolism's activated for a little bit. And then you're just addicted to stimulants. So they're like, hey, cool, thanks for buying our product. You're now addicted to it. Good luck functioning without it because we put so many stimulants in it. We completely wanted to avoid that as far as possible, saying we don't want stimulants. We want thermogenics, leptin sensitivity, and we want to signal the body with antioxidants to signal the body to go burn off excess body fat at a rate that has never been seen before. And this product I'm stoked about this one because my chubby butt needs it, and it's going to be mind blowing, not only for the metabolism, but for the energy production in the body, because it is going to like turn your energy production centers on like crazy. This one I'm stoked for. Man Mind. You guys, many of you already know about Mom Brain that's out there of great support for mothers. But we're creating one because there is an epidemic of depression in men. And the thing is, women they're just naturally better at socializing and making support systems. Men aren't so great at that. Men, if you ask them if there's anything wrong, it doesn't matter if they have an axe stuck in their back. They're going to go, I'm fine, and stuff it down and just keep moving on. So we have an epidemic not only of depression in men, but we have an epidemic of testosterone deficiency. Men's and even little boys' testosterone is destroyed. Microplastics, herbicides, pesticides. I mean, it's horrendous of where it's at. So we created this for men specifically, and honestly, I got a 10-year-old son. I cannot wait to get him on this too, because we are doing incredible testosterone support. Little boys have an epidemic of testosterone deficiency too. So everywhere from I'd say now listen, we should probably say ages 18 plus on this, but listen, I'm a dad and I know what's going on with my son that I cannot wait for me. But for me, I want my testosterone at just screaming high levels. And I know they've been very deficient a lot of my life because of mercury toxicity. Mercury displaces zinc. Testosterone actually makes mercury more toxic in the body. So if you are mercury heavy, which my mom had 16 mercury fillings removed and put back in before she got pregnant with me. So I picked up a lot of mercury. It destroyed my prefrontal cortex, but it also slashed my testosterone for a lot of my life. So I am very excited for this product for men because it's going to have incredible mood support. And on top of that, it's going to have the testosterone support. We're not forcing anything. We're supporting it, we're nurturing it. And the dim that's in here that's on the label, what that does is help to metabolize off excess estrogen. So we're going to help improve all of men's hormones across the boards, help clear that excess estrogen. And we're doing it all completely naturally, no forcing it. Men won't need to cycle this product. A lot of times, if you go and you take some of these individual compounds, like the Tongata Lee or Fedosia, a lot of times it recommends cycling because it doesn't have all these other support compounds that we put in here. So this is going to be unbelievable for men, for their mental health, for their testosterone. And as soon as you boost men's testosterone, their mental health goes off the charts. Now, a bunch of wives out there, if you're not on Mom Brain, you're probably going to be really pissed off at us because, boy, your husband or boyfriend or whoever it is going to all of a sudden think that you are a really hot piece of meat because their testosterone and their libido is going to be off the charts. So be prepared for that, ladies. Make sure that you're getting your Mom Brain with that hormone support. And maybe Joey and I have another like extra hormone libido support for women that will daydream up just in case, because it's going to be bad on this Man Mind. Men are going to love this. Oh my gosh. We're changing it from a citrus berry flavor to probably a citrus pine because pine is delicious. Men love pine. They chop wood. It's manly. Anyhow, it's going to be absolutely out of this world. We have a microplastic detox coming. We have a really cool form of vegan chitosan that we're going to be using that literally nobody else on the planet is even touching. And so we have also enzymes and basically, if you've heard of a zeolite for mopping up heavy metals, what we've created is the equivalent of a zeolite for microplastics to be able to break down the microplastics, to be able to break down the biofilms, and introduce basically a sponge for them to be able to mop them up and then just safely excrete them because microplastics are a friggin' problem. The other thing, too, this is going to work for PFAS and it's also going to work for a lot of these other herbicides and pesticides that don't really have a great solution for detoxing them. This is going to be a very, very good one for that, for the microplastics. I mean, God, I just saw studies of the amount of microplastics in the brain causing problems, and even glass bottles were worse than plastic bottles for microplastics. Like horrifying. Oh yeah, and then also our US government is basically giving absolute immunity for like 37,000 different chemicals to be sprayed in your food. So we can thank them for that. So this is going to be one that's going to be huge for helping people with the microplastic detox. This one I can't wait for. Joey has put in some really fun research into nano defense. Now, remember we talked about nefarious nanotechnology, and it comes from a lot of different sources that are out there. I mean, I probably don't have to tell you the number of places that nefarious nanotechnology is coming from. We have created a solution for that to be able to, when you take a look at this, all these, I have to be able to put this very carefully because the recording is going to be, out there. The nanotalk defense on every level is going to be, this is going to be unreal for the computer interfacing nanotechnology that's deliberately being pumped into everybody's body. This is going to be world class for it. There is nothing else that is like this. Zeolites are cool and all, don't get me wrong. But and a fulvic and humic on its own, it's cool, don't get me wrong. But this light years ahead of anything else that is on the market. So Joey rocked this one in putting this one together. Peptide parasite purge. This one is exciting because we have taken not just a parasite purge, ivermectin and fenben. Yes, you're cool, but we have taken to where we not only are going to kill the parasites, we're going to keep them from reproducing. We're going to keep it so that their eggs don't hatch, and we're also going to be able to offset the herxing that happens from parasites die offs because parasites are very smart at being able to say, "Oh, you're going to kill me. Here's a whole bunch of toxins I'm going to dump to make you feel like crap so you stop trying to kill me off." So we've really interrupted a number of different, and then we're also removing their cloaking mechanisms as well. So when we're using this peptide parasite purge, this is going to be so next level to decloak these parasites, to actually directly kill them, to keep them from mating, to keep them from laying their eggs, to keep the eggs from hatching, and then also interfering with the toxicity dump when you kill them off so that they go, "Please stop trying to kill me. Here's the poison." This is super neat of what this one is going to do for people. This is going to be unbelievable solution that obviously the world really needs. I mean, take a look at, ivermectin and fenben, how popular that is right now. Well, we've gone light years beyond that. Seed oil solution. How many people know how much of a problem seed oils are? We got to be real. I'm going to admit it. I freaking love Garden of Eaton's and 4th of July's potato chips. They're delicious. The Cool Ranch, oh my God, they are so yummy. And I'm just going to admit it, I'm guilty. I have them. But seed oils are in literally everything. It is so hard to get away from them. And the problem is they start getting in there, they start choking up our cell membranes and our mitochondria, and they just promote inflammation like crazy. And then we have this really horrible omega 6 and 9 to omega 3 imbalance. So we are fixing it all in one to basically clean up because these seed oils that are out there are literally like engine lubricant, is where some of these things, the canola oil and crap, comes from. The body can't burn it up very well, so we are going to clear them out of the body so that the cells start to function. The cell membranes work appropriately, so things get in and out of there, so your mitochondria works, so we get the appropriate energy function, and we're going to help to move the omega 3, 6, 9 balance back to where it's supposed to be instead of 30 to 1 omega 6s and 9s to omega 3s. We're going to move that back to where it's supposed to be. So this is going to be a super cool product that I'm extremely excited for. And the big C. This one, we have to be exceptionally careful how we talk about it because when you see the ingredients and when I go over them here quick, you're going to know the power of what this one is. So, those with emergency health situations, this is going to be one of the most powerful compounds and supplements on the entire planet because we put in we've taken our Glyco C plus and we're adding the Tree of Life, Camptotheca. If you want to go look up Camptotheca, you can come back and Google up that one, and you will find out what this product, what this tree thing does. We're adding Heal All, the Prunella vulgaris, which is just a fantastic herb for everything. Pacific Yew, but I'm super stoked. Dragon's Blood, Bloodroot, the Dim, frankincense oil, turmeric oil, saffron oil, sweet orange oil. If you have any idea what the compounds of frankincense, turmeric, saffron, and sweet orange oil do, of what those are good for, especially in combination together, and then adding the vitamin C with it as well, that just fuels the process. This one is going to be for anybody with any kind of health emergency. This is going to be your best friend. And we're just going to warn you guys, this is going to be powerful, like really powerful that you
Yeah, we could have
probably.
called it a Turbo C.
Yeah, yeah, right. Like, yeah, it's you get where we're going with this sort of deal. And you're probably going to put a disclaimer. You probably, if you're using this, want to take, if you're taking 1 pump of the Big C, for every 1 pump of the Big C, you probably want 2 or 3 pumps of Glyco C plus to really nurture the actions of this. And we'll put that up on the website so everybody knows. But this Big C, this is going to be for people that want to have their loved ones around. This is going to be, or even themselves, this product is going to be off the charts. So, but to pop in the chat box over here just to see if I missed anything. Hold
Yeah,
on.
this one's actually next on the lineup.
Yeah, the Big C is going to be out probably this week. Um, as well as how far off are we on Man Mind?
Probably the following week or the week thereafter.
Okay, yeah. So Man Mind's only like another 2 to maybe 3 weeks. I'm kicking Joey in the butt constantly because I freaking want it so
This
bad.
guy's got me working so hard.
Dude, I'm slave driving the whole time. So yeah, you can expect the Big C and Derma C to be out very shortly. Man Mind will be shortly after that, and Joey, I believe microplastic comes pretty quickly after that too. Oh, and
Yeah,
we're
we'll
probably.
actually get to all of them.
Yeah, and then actually, I think Nano Defense is going to go in between Big C, Dermacy, Man Mind, Nano Defense, and then probably Microplastic Detox.
I'd
Uh,
really like to try to make nano defense and the microplastic um a priority.
yeah, we really want to get
It's
those
much
ones
needed.
out. Yeah, they're super needed. So we are slated to very rapidly continue to move these things out, and we hope you are extremely excited about these things. So, let's see. Hold on. Next on the sub, I worked in the sub in 20. Wondering about the riboflavin and niacinamide and maybe other some synthetic slides back. I don't think we have any riboflavin or niacinamide in anything, do we, Joey?
There was a riboflavin 5 phosphate, and then there was also the bentothiamine also that we're using. So yeah,
Okay.
there are some B vitamins and things like that that really, you could probably get in a natural source. Um, but again, they're B vitamins. We're not talking about synthetic B12 or anything like that. And so I felt pretty good about doing that. Also, just so everyone knows, anytime you see liver extracts in a formulation, just know it's jam packed. It's a powerhouse of B vitamins, minerals, coenzyme factors. There's all kinds of so I use liver extracts a lot for B vitamins. And so that's one thing I do. So anytime you see liver extracts, which you'll probably see it a lot, that's a big reason why.
Somebody said, would you consider removing liver, colostrum, and mobile since you have TUDCA so they can be all vegan? Um, Probably not on that one. We will maybe get to a vegan one down the road. But in that case, they just fit so well in different things that I guess Joey and I can talk about it and see where it goes. Most of our stuff is pretty vegan, um, or they're very vegan actually, but there's a couple of them that maybe won't be, but we try to keep the vegan friendly community in line or in mind as well. So, just to keep everybody updated on that, we really try to keep it as friendly for everybody as possible. But sometimes when we're making a compound or a supplement of going, trying to get away from it is going to just be pretty difficult on stuff. So,
Hey, so much for 20 minutes, huh?
yeah, right. Okay, we had to wait an hour. So, I think we hit everything of all the different things. We're going to stop this up, throw the recording, and we've kept you guys on the line long enough, but I hope you guys are as excited as us because we have so many fun things, and they're going to be just like back to back to back on all of it as we scale up. And we're going to be getting a resource center together for all the affiliates so that you've got a singular place to be able to gather all of our graphics, our videos, our write ups. And I'm going to be pinning in the Facebook group the where you can look up the long brochures that we put together and presentations for everything that I have kept compliant so that you're able to share them and use them. So we're going to be putting all of those together for everybody that's an affiliate in the next probably week here. And then Joey and I are going to be banging through and doing a bunch of calls on all the science, every one of the products, really touching on a bunch of the great points. And we appreciate you guys. I hope you're having fun with this. Joey and I
And
definitely
I just
are.
want to add something to this before we get off here. The amount of things that we've done in such a short period of time is like utterly unheard of. Like, I mean, we've come out with 4 formulations in a month and a half, 2 months.
Yeah, we did an initial
Um,
website redo, and upgrade, all of the social media presence and the marketing that got out there, the integrations, the SEOs. The blogs will be up this week. We have 3 or 4 more pages that will be added to the website, and then
yeah,
continue to keep adding individual pages on every single product, so that people have a longer explanation for each one of the products on the site there. My God, yeah, we've done so many. And then all the presentations we've created on top of it and the write-ups. And then, oh, the autism company that we were working with that we wrote, you wrote like that 500 page paper. And then I had a 300 page presentation. We had that occurred during the course of this all too.
yeah.
Um, yeah, we have moved it through this in a whirlwind. I can't even believe that Joey and I are even standing after all that we've done. So,
Adam and I work so well together. We each bring our own unique skills to the table. That something that would take another company, probably 10 employees, to be able to do, Adam and I could do with their eyes closed.
yeah, we do it pretty well. And someone asked how we bring in this stuff to marketing outside of being affiliates. We've got Facebook group pages, personal promotions, a TikTok and Instagram, official Facebook page. We have clinical practitioners and other places that are hitting us up. We have a few companies actually are starting to get very interested in getting the products and everything. Now, just to be aware, Joey and I are very careful about we don't ever want to lose control of this to be able to say, no, we won't do XYZ, or we are going to do XYZ. Joey and I are going to be very careful about that for forever. You can sell these to health food stores. You're a broker. Absolutely. We can work out bulk purchases. We can absolutely work something out because we can be flexible with that. And Angela asked, how do you become an affiliate? On the homepage of glycogenix.com. If you just scroll all the way to the bottom, it'll say become an affiliate for free here. Name, email address, click register, it'll go boom, here's your link to share. And then currently, for right now, we only have the capacity to pay out via PayPal. We're going to be looking at integrating Venmo, bank transfers. These are all things that take time to integrate with it. So forgive us for right now. It'll just be PayPal payouts of $25 minimum, and I think we're going to pay out every week or two, just because we like to, pay out back. And so, anybody that's got Jen, if you want to talk about the health food stores, just send us an email, support @glycogenix.com, and we will happily just open a conversation and say, how do we make this fit for everybody? Because the more we can get it, the more places, the better, and we can help more people. And that just puts us on track to be able to release more supplements when Joey and I go, hey, we've got a great idea randomly. So, um, let's see. And yes, once you have a customer, this is part of the reason that we changed our affiliate program for what we were doing before. And our apologies for any hiccups, but there wasn't many for it. Once you have a customer, they are tied to you for life. So if you have an affiliate, if you put your link out, you make one sale to anybody, or if they even there's 90-day cookie window. So if you send your link to somebody for 90 days, if they come back to the website, they are still tied to you. And once they make one purchase, every recurring purchase you earn commissions on for life. So it's not like you'll just earn a one-time thing. We want to pay people for life and say, thank you. We appreciate you. And we've built it into the business model to keep it so that we can remain sustainable, but still give back as much as possible to everybody to say thank you. Um, which really, I think, is the ending for the call here is to say, everybody, thank you. We really appreciate you. We appreciate you taking an hour, 10 minutes out of your night tonight now, and we said it was going to be 20. Sorry about that. And so any questions, guys, just hit us up. You can click the support or the contact us form on the website, support at glycogenix.com. Hit us up. We are happy to help and just thank you, thank you, thank you for being along on this journey. And we are going to make the next call shorter, Joe. You have to do it just because we promised we would, and we have a tendency to overreach. We'll just have more calls instead of longer ones. So, you guys, Joey, if you've got any parting words for us,
Oh man, it's a rough world out there. Be sweet.
because we do need more sweetness. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Have the
We hit the
best
sweet
night.
spot.
Yep, and we will tune in with you shortly and keep you updated. Have a great night.